Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In today's video, I'm going to take you through a over 5 million per year Shopify store. I'm going to review it, and I'm going to let you know why I think this is probably one of the best examples of a perfect niche. So you will see the store on the left-hand side of the screen. So I've split it here. I've got my document I'm working off, and then on the left-hand side, I'll take you through all these different things about this store, right? So here is the store. The store is called mrpoolman.com.au. It is in the pool chemicals and supplies niche, okay? It's mainly in Australia, and its primary source of traffic is actually search ads. Now, how did I find all this information? Why do I like this niche? We're gonna cover all of this very, very shortly, but I've basically grabbed the URL, gone into SimilarWeb here on the left-hand side, and the estimated annual revenue is 2 million to 5 million. I believe it's on the higher end of the scale, but just because of the product mix that they sell. And I will say, I've actually used this business because I own a pool and a spa. So I own both of those things. And so I regularly have to buy chemicals for them. And I actually just enjoy doing it. So it very easily could get someone else to do it. I enjoy doing it, which is one of the reasons I like this business. So what they actually do, they supply the largest range of high quality pool equipment and chemicals. So there's so many different things people need for pools. It's a subset of, I guess, the home and garden niche, but it's one that you never really see anyone talk about online. And as you can see, this is a reasonably big business. It actually could be even bigger just because these guys could actually be doing wholesale as well as direct to consumer. So that's one of the primary reasons I do really like it, but let's go through this. The global rank of this store is 461,000. So you can see it is quite a high traffic store. This is saying that its country is United States, but this is definitely an Australian business. It's clear on the website. It's saying 180,000 in the US, which is still pretty impressive, and 3,161 in terms of the biggest home and garden. So for a business that's only in Australia, this is actually quite impressive just because Australia's a very small country. If it's ranking that high here, I'd hate to see exactly where it is within Australia. As you can see, it gets over 120,000 visits per month, and its bounce rate is 77%. People on average visit 1.49 pages and 47-second time on page. These all seem on the low end. I don't know. I never put too much trust in these on SimilarWeb. I imagine that the analytics are probably actually a little bit better than that. But to be fair, once they do get someone to purchase something, I actually think that that's where the power of this business comes in, because once you buy something from them, you're going to buy a lot more from them. So let's have a look. As you can see, traffic does vary, and we are in the winter months here in Australia, so these would be quite slow months for them, and that's why I think the number's significantly bigger, because they could probably make 2 to 5 million just in the summer period, given how much more people buy in those months. So while it is a seasonal niche, you do need to be buying this stuff constantly, because you can't, most people don't just shut down their pool for the winter. To be honest, in some of the warmer places in Australia, you can still use it. I still jump in my pool in winter. So they do have competitors as well, and SimilarWeb will show you this, guys, but let me go down here and you can see how the traffic does vary. As I said, we're in the winter months. It's probably not going to get as much traffic, but I imagine it'd be probably 3 times higher in the summer months there. Again, I'm not sure why 43% of the traffic comes from the US. That's a little bit confusing. The demographics here, again, I'm not sure if I believe, because I imagine that people that are buying, unless it's people's parents or something getting, some people's kids that are buying it, I would have imagined this would be a slightly more skewed to an older crowd, but I guess it still is. 25 to 34, yeah, plenty of people. That's actually me that falls within there. And mainly male. That makes sense. You would imagine that in most households, the male is looking after the pool. It's just something, like I said, I enjoy doing it in our household. Going through some of these interests here. And here's kind of what topics come up. Pool's the main one, spa, pool supplies, swimming pool. So I did actually grab these and put them in Google Trends as well. So like swimming pool has a consistently high interest all the time. I had pool chemicals here, but just ignore that. I was just looking at the different things that people search. While the trend isn't kind of necessarily too much on the uptrend, if you look at it over a long period of time, you'll see the spikes in the summertime. So that's what I was talking about, these spikes here. There's heaps of search volume within this niche as well, which is another factor which we'll get into that I do like. So there are other competitors here, guys, and if I was looking at this niche and seeing, really wanting to potentially get into this, I would look and analyze their competitors as well. But I mean, I had a look at one of their competitors here, and although they're still doing quite a bit of revenue, quite a bit of turnover, the actual website itself is just not quite as nice. And we will run through the website in greater detail, but I'm just wanting to show you the sort of things I look at before entering a niche, and my review on this store. So as you can see, this website's just not as attractive or as engaging. The color scheme isn't as nice. This is far more on brand, on point, easy to shop, particularly from Google. So when I analyze a store, I'm really coming at it from a Google point of view. So back to SimilarWeb, guys, you can see there's plenty of competitors here, but I believe that this store is doing one of the better jobs of this. And now I always look at the marketing channel distributions and can I go in and improve it, or are they doing a good job? What could I do better? And as you can see, most of the traffic comes from search, as I already told you, and then you've got direct, and everything else is kind of rats and mice. For me, that would be an opportunity. Like, can they improve social? Although I do know that a lot of Facebook ads do pop up in direct if proper tracking isn't set up, or if SimilarWeb isn't picking that up. We can see kind of what people are searching and what's coming up. Chlorine lock, heat pump, swimming pool, I imagine that says housing or hose. And their brand name's generating quite a bit. As you can see, organic is actually their biggest source of revenue, and search is only a very, very small amount. That said, I don't know if SimilarWeb picks up Google Shopping, and I know that I came through a Google Shopping ad, and I do know other people that use these guys have come through Google Shopping ads, so I'm sure that search is a bigger factor, or this isn't picking up shopping, or it's an opportunity, right? So this is about all I would look at now for SimilarWeb. I don't know if they're running any display ads or anything like that, but let's get into more of why I like this niche and what is so good about it. So first and foremost, this niche is evergreen. That is what I really, really like. People that have pools are not going to stop buying this stuff. They need to keep buying it, right? And while they can go somewhere else, the actual niche itself sells evergreen products. The other great thing about this store is they're selling a mix of consumable products, which encourages repeat purchases, right? Because you keep needing a lot of these chemicals, cartridges, things like that. You need them all the time, but it also sells high ticket one-off items like pool cleaners. They also sell things like chlorinators and pumps and spas themselves. So that good mix gives you a really healthy high average order value and units per sale. Most people do not just buy one thing, particularly when, you have all of these chemicals that you regularly buy. You will just go in and, like, for example, chemicals is the prime example of someone buying multiple things. Say I need filter cleaner. I might also go, hey, I might actually grab these crystals to clarify my water as well. Or if there's phosphates in my water, I might grab that to remove that. So the other really, really cool thing, as I've already said, it's easy to get frequent purchases. So when I look at a niche, I want to have something where it's easy to get frequent repeat purchases, because I want my remarketing ads to get hit by these people all the time and stay, front of mind. I want my email, my SMS, and just overall, I want people to regularly come back to me, because it makes my advertising dollars stretch further, because I can pay more to buy that customer up front, because I know my lifetime value is going to be high. And so I guess other than high average order value and that, it's high lifetime value as well. So I would edit this to say high lifetime value, this document as well. And what I will do, guys, is I'll make a checklist where people can use this to sanity check to go, how good is this niche? And then you can use that checklist to work out whether or not the niche you're getting into ticks all these things. Like, go in and have all of these as a tick box, and you'll be able to use it and go through, cool. This ticks, it's evergreen, mix of consumable and high ticket. And the other thing is positive trend. Last year, if you Google this, you'll actually see it. In a lot of countries, pool building was at record highs, which means there's more and more pools each year. Most people that have a pool keep it. It adds value to the house. And it's something that most people enjoy. So it's not like you get a pool and then you stop buying chemicals because you've gotten rid of your pool. It's not like even a car, you can buy a car, sell a car quite easily. No one's getting rid of their pool. So each year, more and more people build more and more pools. So a business like this just grows in line with that. High search volume. So if we want to check if something has search volume, we would actually go into our keyword planner, and I've chucked in things like pool chemicals, online pool shop, pool supplies. I've also added individual things. So while all these are the broad thing of what they are, it's everything else that they sell. And that's where you would come up in your shopping ads, right? So you'd come up for bromine or bromine tablets, best spa chemicals. And then you'd also come up in Google searches for, how to cure a cloudy spa, how to remove cloudiness from a spa, how to get rid of algae in my pool. My pool's gone green. How do I fix it? All of these things get searched in Google. Prime example as to why this category is so good, this niche, pool chemicals. And you can see the trend. Summertimes it's much higher. It's not even a third in the wintertime. So you can see if you add all of these up, and remember, this is Australia only, but people are searching pool chlorine 4,400 times per month. So even if you can capture like a really small portion of those, you'd be, especially in the summer months when, it's probably more like 20,000, 15,000, this business is doing really, really well. And this is one type of chemical, just absolutely, just one little chemical. So you can imagine just how much this business makes from selling all this stuff, right? Because, as I said, I'm not just going to buy this Water Technics blockout stabilizer. I'm going to buy more and more stuff. So why I like this niche as well is the actual barrier to entry to this is relatively high. And that's actually something you should be looking for rather than avoiding it. Because if everyone is going into your niche, very, very easy to get into, very easy to get a hold of products, then yeah, you're not going to make much money. And if you add that in with something that's not evergreen or growing in a positive trend, then yes, your scalability is very, very limited. But these guys, high barriers to entry. These are chemicals. Not everyone knows how to ship chemicals properly. That's another factor. It's got a high barrier to entry. I like that. You should like that as well. But while it's got a high barrier to entry, this also means that competition isn't huge online. So there's other people selling this stuff online. But when you compare it to bigger areas like pets or home and garden, just generally speaking, things like that, like home products, furniture, things like that, there's heaps of people selling that stuff. There's not so many people selling chemicals. And most of the competitors are local pool shops. And this is a completely different customer. I look for something where, yes, there might be a strong local option, but the online option is serving the people that don't want to go into store. I don't always have time to go into the pool shop, or I can't be bothered, or I don't want to. I prefer to shop online. Some people do, right? A lot of people do. And this is where these guys actually provide that solution. From there, this is a fantastic option because it's also a hobby for people. People consider this a hobby. If someone considers something a hobby, they're going to invest more money into it because there's an emotion attached to it. It's emotional. And while it's brand driven, all of this stuff is brand driven, right? But at the same time, it's pool chemicals. I don't really care so much what brand of chemical I have, but the brands do add legitimacy to this store. And to this business. So it is brand driven, but at the same time, people are happy to take private label options. And in this case, this Water Technics is their private label. So people are happy to change as long as the price is good. And, I don't really know the chemical makeup of most of it. So as if the size of the packaging is the same, I'm going to assume it's the same stuff. And it may or may not be. That's all people really care about. The other factor, and in today's age that is a necessary factor, is it's got to be something that's easy to make content around the topic. This is easy to make content around pool, right? There's actually online courses on how to manage and how to look after your pool. Customers in the niche generally have money. That's what I like as well. Now, this is probably stereotyping, but most people that have a pool also are doing okay in life. They have a reasonable job, or they run a business, or they own their home, or they're renting a home with a pool. These things are normally more expensive. You don't have to be a multi-millionaire, but they generally have some level of disposable income. If you're in a different niche where people don't, it makes it a lot harder. People here have money, they spend more money. And the other factor I like is the easy transition to wholesale. I'm all about transitioning businesses into wholesale as well as retail, because what I do is I come into businesses and I try to scale them primarily through Google Ads, but then through things like increasing average order value, UPS, going into wholesale, things like that, adding a brand, adding private label. So why do I like this e-commerce store generally? Let's just go back to the homepage. I'll maximize it here so we see. What I like is huge search bar, also has categories. So we can search and then go into the actual categories. It's very easy to shop. That's what I like. Particularly from a Google point of view, this is important. Because if I come on here on an ad and I come through on a particular pump and then I want to see what other pumps you have, I'm going to go through here and look at it. Or your chemicals, like what have I got? Pool chemicals and spa chemicals. They could have just bunched that into one, right? Then they've got their own brands. They've got other brands, low chlorine for those that aren't using chlorine. Everything is categorized very well. The branding is nice. The color scheme is really nice. Everything kind of on this store looks good. The images are pretty similar. They're all shot in a similar way. The great thing, this business has been around since 1998, right? Since 1998. One thing I would say is they can probably add a bit more social proof onto this site. But overall, it's a very nice looking site. They've got a blog, they put out content, recently viewed products, and then this here, free shipping over orders over 25. Most people are going to spend over $25. Easy financing options. So they've got swim now, pay later. So afterpay and things like that. 60-day returns, easily tracked. And then I do like that they have a chat option and also you can call them. Again, they've got the search bar down the bottom, which I really like. So I can search here or search here, right? And then I get $10 off for my first order over $99. Helps push people to spend over $100. And then, once they get a customer, they're going to keep coming back. So I'll go back to my other sheet at the same time. Their long history, as I said, they've got lots of reviews on Google. So if I go Mr. Poolman, now, for example, on their Google My Business, they have lots of reviews. As you can see, over 1,062 reviews, most of which seem to be 5-star at 4.8. Their products also have reviews on Google Shopping. Actually, probably the smartest thing I think they do is this here. Look at this, the spa chemical bundle. So their bundles are genius because it actually introduces me, and this is another big thing I am very big on at the moment in e-commerce, is making bundles to increase average order value and to introduce people into other products. For example, I came across this bundle when I was just looking for spa shock tablets. But now I've started using this spa conditioner and this cube and this filter cleaner. And I went, oh, sweet, I can actually get this filter cleaner. Wow, this spa conditioner makes my spa much nicer. The water smells good. I'll probably keep using it. Now, instead of buying this here, I'm going to start buying this bundle. This thing's only like $30-something, but you know what? I started buying this. So I went from a spend of $30 or $35 to now over $90 because I want all of these things. Now, this makes it clearer. I can clean my filter. And even if I don't buy them all at once, I might buy them individually, and I never would have bought those before. As I said before, another factor is easy to navigate. I'm here, okay? Oh, so this is actually out of stock at the moment. So probably because it was so damn popular. Let's go into something else and we'll add it to cart and we'll see what kind of the upsells and cross-sell features that they have. So let's add this to cart. And they're using monster upsells here. So congratulations, you've received free shipping. And I've also, because it's such a big item, they've got $500, $1,000 options as well. Sorry, not options. But here, they always have this, add this to cart. So, oh, sweet, clarifying cubes. They've got a little description there. And then you can either keep shopping, view cart, or secure checkout. So as you can see, guys, very easy to shop this. Very good upsells in place. Another massive factor as to why I like this business, they had amazing customer service, guys. The chat support when I had a question, email, and if they had a mistake, they rectify it fast. They had a mistake with my order, I'll be honest. They rectified it immediately, sent it out the next day, and they've got very fast shipping. I get this in 1 to 2 days. The other thing I like about Mr. Poolman is they've managed to simplify something that is quite technical. So if I go into categories and go chemicals, I'll shop all, but a lot of things actually have, because of their really good descriptions firstly, a lot of the bundles solve like a particular problem. See, like this storm and flood. So if there's been a lot of storming and flooding or in winter, this bundle solves, what do I do with my spa in winter? Here's all the chemicals you need. Their private label is what I really like as well. It increases their margins, but they've also got brands there to add legitimacy to this business. The next thing is fast order processing and delivery. And what I did like is, I'm not going to show you this because I kind of can't unless I buy something. They have really good use of the shop ad. Not enough people are actually optimizing that or using that correctly. It can actually get you a lot more sales if you're using that correctly. Plenty of good content is posted regularly, and we'll go through that when I go through their socials. Returns are super easy if you have to return anything. And so because of the ongoing support and customers, repeat customers they get, it's easy for them to come up with an NFT program or loyalty program using an NFT or just a standard loyalty program. Very easy because people will continue to buy. It will be easy to incentivize people to keep doing so. So what I'll do is I'll quickly look at their socials. So what I'll do is I'll look at their Google ads. So I just Googled Mr. Poolman just to show you that they actually a lot of the time will come up with a branded search campaign. So they're doing that with all their reviews here as well and some site extensions. They also rank very highly, obviously, organically, but we'll look at some of their shopping listings as well. And as you can see, you do have competitors in this space too, but all of their listings have really good titles, and quite often their descriptions are really good as well. So you see, they go straight to it. Is your current pump howling? Because that's a problem. Is your water cloudy? Does your pool go green? Replace your old pool equipment. So straight away, the person is getting to the point. They're solving an issue. This is a good description and title, all right? So their shopping ads, they pass the test. Most people have horrible images. They have really good images. They've got their reviews there. Overall, I think I would imagine that they're doing reasonably well from their Google shopping ads. Well, let's jump in and have a look at some of their social media ads as well. So I just put Mr. Poolman here. They're in Australia. They've got a good mix of user-generated content and stuff that looks organic as well, with some vertical videos here too. And then they also have a mix of different ads, product reviews. There's definitely some remarketing in here, and also reviews for social proof and things like that. Their bundles, their popular bundles they're doing, so probably like bestsellers as well. There's a massive mix of ads. They've got over 110 ads running. And as I said, this is the one I bought here. It's definitely hits the mark with me. Brought me in to buy a lot more things than what I normally would. They've got a very comprehensive social media strategy on Facebook and Instagram. Lots of different styles of content, different images, videos, remarketing, promoting the social proof that they have. So overall, a very good social media paid. And let's get into a bit more of the organic side. So they've actually got a TikTok. I think it's relatively new for them, but it's good that they've jumped on board and started doing well with that too. And then also they do have a YouTube channel. The YouTube channel definitely needs some work because there's some really big pool YouTube channels. So I think this one's probably letting them down a little bit. But overall, they've got plenty of content. They post regularly and they post different types. So they've got shorts, they've got long form. I definitely think that their thumbnails could do with some work, and probably their tags and things like that. But overall, relatively good presence across all the main channels. Their organic Instagram, I won't go into it, but I think that one probably needs some work as well. Facebook, Facebook organics are a tough one at the moment. I wouldn't really judge them on that, but definitely rely primarily on a paid ad strategy for socials, which is pretty normal these days. So could you enter this niche? This is what a lot of people are probably going to be wondering, where did you get the $5 million number? I showed you. It's just from SimilarWeb, but also based on their traffic on, a 2.5-3% conversion rate, which these guys would be getting easily. I wouldn't be surprised if it's actually significantly higher. Even if it's on a 2% conversion rate, you're still around that 2 million per year. But also, you can't really base it on the average monthly visits in the last 3 months, which was there, because in summer it's going to be significantly higher. So I genuinely do believe that this business does over 5 million a year. I think they've got over 20 staff. So they would have to be to have their warehouse and everything, their warehouse staff. They've got e-commerce managers and things like that if you look at them on LinkedIn. So really cool business. One that you're probably going to go, I could never enter this, but I'll show you in a later video that I will release soon how you actually can find suppliers in any industry. Yes, is it harder in some? Yeah, but that's a good thing. If you're willing to put in the work, you can do significantly better. But as I said, these guys have been around since 1998. So if you want to go and build a long-term business, by all means, I really like this niche. It's going to be around for a very long time. And it's a tough one for other people to enter because people want advice, people want content. So hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to the channel if you have and give the video a thumbs up. Trying to be more regular on the posting, so I'll see you in the next one.